Hey, what's up YouTube? This is Youth Man. In today's video, we're going to be talking about Epson's 5040UB projector, and in particular, the lens memory feature. Now, before we jump into the video, if you're into home theater, audio, and video, hit that subscribe button, and don't forget to hit that bell notification so that you'll be notified when the next video drops. All right, guys, well, I had an exciting weekend. I had a friend of mine come over and help me install the Epson 5040UB projector. We uninstalled and removed my previous Panasonic AE8000U, which has been a great projector. It's a 1080p projector. So over the past several weeks and several months, we've been looking at the 5040UB that Epson sent me to review. And a big thanks to Epson for sponsoring this video so that we can continue to provide some content on the 5040UB, such as some of the features like we're going to be talking about today with the lens memory feature. So in my setup, I have a 150-inch 2.35:1 aspect ratio screen. Now the screen is about 12.5 feet wide, and so it's wider than your standard 16:9. So when you're watching a 16:9 film on a 2.35:1 aspect ratio screen, also known as a Cinescope screen, you're going to have black bars or gray bars on the sides. But a lot of movies nowadays, especially Blu-ray as well as UHD movies, are in the wider format. Sometimes they're 2.35:1, sometimes they're 2.4:1, and that's why when you're watching those movies on a 16:9 TV, you're going to have gray bars on the top as well as gray bars on the bottom because your screen isn't wide enough for that aspect ratio. So when I was building my home theater, I wanted to design it in such that I would have a wide format screen that would match what the director intended when viewing the 2.35:1 or even a 2.4:1 aspect ratio movie. And so when it comes to projectors, certain projectors have what they call lens memory. Now the Epson 5040UB is one of those projectors. Now the best way for me to explain this is just to show you physically. Alright, so here we have the menu to Mission Impossible Rogue Nation. Most Blu-rays and Ultra HD videos are going to have their menu in 16:9 format. But once you start the movie, you're going to see the aspect ratio is going to change. So as you can see here, once the movie starts, we now have gray bars on the top, gray bars on the bottom, as well as gray bars on the left and right. So the way that we fix that, I'm just going to pause the movie right here. And what we're going to do is we're going to grab our remote and we're going to click on the lens button. Now we don't need to adjust focus yet, so we're going to hit the lens button again, and that's going to take us to adjust zoom. So we're going to hit the left arrow until we zoom the edges, which is the left and right, all the way to the edge of my screen. So we can see it's going to be about right there, but on the right side I need to shift the image over just a tad. So I'm going to hit the lens button again, and that's going to take us to the adjust lens shift. Now this is fantastic. On my previous Panasonic AE8000U, I had to manually move the lens physically on the projector itself. With the Epson 5040UB, you can do it all from your remote. So we're going to click the right button just a couple of times until we can get the edge right there. Well, looks like we need to zoom in just a little bit again. So we're going to come back to adjust zoom. I'm going to zoom in just a tad bit more. Hit the lens button again. Now we can adjust to the right. Perfect. Now what we need to do is just shift the image up. So I'm going to push the up button and come all the way up here. Okay, we're going to need to zoom in just a tad bit more. I'm going to do it right, probably about right there. Okay, so now the image fills the entirety of the top and bottom, left and right. So now we need to focus it. So we're going to hit the lens button again a couple times till we get back to adjust focus. Typically what I like to do is just get really out of focus like that, and then just start coming back until we're just tapping the left focus button till right there. That is really sharp. And so now we've got it set as far as our zoom and our focus and our lens shift. So we're going to get out of this menu by hitting the escape button, and then we're going to click on the menu button. We're going to come down to settings, hit the enter button, come down to memory, and then we're going to come down here to save lens position. We're going to click enter, and so you can see I've already created one for 16:9. So we're going to hit down, and we're going to hit the enter button for memory 2. So to the left of memory 2, now that we've selected that and saved that, that little rectangle turns blue to let you know that that memory does have a preset saved. So now we're going to hit the escape button, but we're going to come down here to rename lens position and hit enter, and we're going to come down to memory 2 and hit enter. So now what we want to do is save this as 2.35:1. So we're just going to come over here, 2.35, come down here to the colon, 2.35:1. Now if you're not sure what that means, basically for every 1 inch high, the image is 2.35 inches wide. Or for every 1 unit high, it's 2.35 units wide. Same thing with 16:9. So with 2.35, the image is basically a little over twice the width as it is high. So once we're done there, we're going to come down here to finish and hit enter. So now you can see we've got a preset on memory 1 for 16:9 and a preset for memory 2 for 2.35:1. So now if we hit the menu button to get out of that menu, so now when I need to switch between 16:9 and 2.35:1 content, I can easily do that with the remote. So at the bottom of the remote, you'll see the lens 1. If I were watching a Blu-ray and it was in 16:9 format, then I could hit lens 1 on the remote. It's going to reposition that image. It's going to zoom out and scale the image down so that it fills the top and the bottom of my screen. That's called constant image height, which is exactly how I set up my theater. And then if I were to watch a movie in 2.35:1 like I'm watching now, I would just hit lens 2 on the remote, and it's going to reposition, scale up the image, and then it's going to refocus to the preset that I've already saved. And there you go. Now one thing that's really nice about this as well, because there's so many different formats, like I said, the main ones are 16:9. We used to have 4:3, which you very rarely see 4:3 movies. But there's also wider formats such as 2.40:1, as well as others. So if you have others that you want to save, you would do the same thing. Go into your lens, adjust, zoom in, focus, lens position. Then you would hit your menu, come down to settings, come down to memory, go down to save lens position. And as you can see, the 5040 can save up to 10 memory presets, which is really slick. Now to recall those, I'm going to hit escape. You would come down to the settings menu, go to load lens position, and you would select one of those 10. The first two, the 16:9 as well as the 2.35:1, can easily be accessed via the remote by hitting lens 1 button for the 16:9 and lens 2 for 2.35:1. Alright guys, so there you have the Epson 5040UB looking at lens memory as well as the lens shift and how all that works and how to set that up on your home theater. Now if you found the video helpful, be sure to smash that like button, and if you're new to the channel, definitely consider subscribing because I produce weekly content. Now, if you'd like to see other videos that I've made on the Epson 5040, I'll post a playlist right up here. And if you're interested in purchasing the 5040, I'll leave links to it down in the description below, as well as a few other new projectors that Epson just came out with. Well guys, that's going to wrap up the video. Have a blessed day, and we'll catch you in the next video.